Put your hands behind your back, please.
I'm going.
Put your hands behind your back, please.
Why are you shaking? I'm not going to hurt you.
You need to stop and listen to me. Suspicious person at the checkpoint.
Suspicion is not a crime, sir.
It's not. The crime.
Can you articulate to me a crime?
I did not say that there was a crime committed.
So if I were you, I would invoke your own right to remain silent, sir, because you're just digging yourself deeper in the hole. You just said there's no crime.
Constantly questioning what I'm asking. Just being difficult.
You need to learn the law.
Don't point. Listen.
What was most unfortunate is that you became argumentative and uncooperative towards Trooper Lavoie. Hey, what's up, guys? Long Island Audit here, back again with another installment of Throwback Thursday. This audit takes place at the Bradley International Airport in the state of Connecticut. Connecticut State Trooper Lavoie just might be America's dumbest cop. His tyrannical actions earned him a federal lawsuit. Let's get into it.
Are you a supervisor?
Yeah.
I was just explaining to Megan here that I'm independent.
You have every right to film.
Yeah.
As long as you don't film the X-ray screens, because that's all sensitive.
Okay.
And impede the operation. You're fine.
Yeah. No, I'm just an independent journalist gathering content for a story.
I think you're well within your rights. I think you know them.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir. And your name was Brett Kavanaugh. Brett. Wow, that's like the Supreme Court Justice.
He spelled it with a K. That's really
Brett Kavanaugh.
Yep.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you interact with a member of the public peacefully exercising their rights. Unfortunately, things are about to take a turn for the worst.
The Supreme Court Justice.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Trooper Lavoie with the State Police. How are you doing today?
How you doing, Trooper?
Good. I'm here to find out what your business here is at the airport today.
My business is none of your business, Trooper Lavoie, but I was nice enough to tell you, and look what I got for it.
Nothing. Just gathering content for a story. I'm an independent journalist.
Oh, great. Do you have your ID on you?
I'm not going to provide you my ID, Trooper.
By a state trooper for your ID, you're going to have to provide that.
Wrong. You do not have to surrender your Fourth Amendment right unless the law enforcement officer has reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime, which he admits several times he does not.
This Connecticut, sir, is not a stop and ID state, and unless you have reasonable articulable suspicion, I've committed
about to do that. I'm not here to get a legal advice from you.
You should have taken the legal advice while you had the chance, Trooper.
Yeah.
I'm asking legally an order from a state trooper to provide me your ID. You're causing alarm at the airport. Multiple people have come up to us asking what you're doing.
There's a TSA supervisor who just told me I was well within my rights.
Please?
Sir, let's
Put your hands behind your back, please.
I'm going.
Put your hands behind your back, please.
Look how quickly this trooper escalates the situation. He went from immediately demanding identification to putting me in handcuffs within seconds of this interaction starting.
Sir, okay.
Sir,
I'm not going to cause any alarm.
Last answer.
I don't have an. I'm not going to put any. I'm not.
Throws my cell phone to the floor, stopping it from recording, a First Amendment violation, and then a Fourth Amendment violation by placing me in handcuffs.
I don't even have any ID on me, sir.
That's going to be it. Okay.
I can give you my name and date of birth if you'd like. Do you have your body camera on, sir?
581.
One detained, refusing to provide ID. Is there anything on you that's going to harm me, poke, anything sharp?
I don't consent to any searches.
I didn't ask you that. Is there anything on you that's going to harm me?
No, and I don't
Knives,
consent.
needles, weapons?
No.
No?
Just the camera of mass destruction that you are terrified of.
Where's your ID?
I don't have one.
No? What's this, sir?
That's my car key. Sir, I'm an independent journalist working on gathering content for a story.
Okay.
I have not broken any laws.
No one said that you did. You're not under arrest right now. You're being detained.
But why are you detaining
You're interfering with my investigation.
Sir, you need to have reasonable articulable suspicion.
I'm articulating that to you right now, that you're causing a disturbance at the airport.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
By gathering content, I'm an independent journalist, sir.
You need to stop trying to teach me
Why
legal.
are you shaking? I'm not going to hurt you.
You need to stop and listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm trying to identify you.
Do you see? He's shaking like a leaf, and his voice is cracking. He's the kind of officer that would unload his pistol into a car when he hears an acorn fall on the hood.
Because you're causing a disturbance at the airport. You refuse to provide me your ID. You're clearly doing this on purpose.
I'm not.
So we're going to go through the books.
I'm gathering content for a story. I told everybody I'm an independent journalist.
I get that. Now we're
So
going
how
to
is
prove
that?
that, sir.
There is no proof of that. The First Amendment grants me the right of
What's your
freedom of
last name?
press. I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'm going
to ask you again. What's your last name?
If I do not give you my name, sir,
You're going to be placed under arrest and taken to be fingerprinted to identify you.
Bingo. There you go. Threat of arrest. That's all I needed.
Okay, my last name is Reyes.
How do you spell that?
Reyes.
Yeah.
As long as you say that, if you say you're going to put me under arrest, I will give you my name.
That's what we would have to do to identify you. It's not what I want to do.
You have no idea.
I came over here just to identify you.
You have no right to identify
Your first
me,
name,
sir.
Mr. Reyes?
You have no right to identify
Are
me,
you going to stop arguing with me? Because this is causing a big problem now.
My first name is Sean.
Yep.
Paul. One word. Can I get your supervisor here, Lavoie? One. Under threat of arrest, I'm providing you that information.
It's not a threat. It's me telling you what has to happen.
Can I speak to your supervisor, Lavoie?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Troops, you know who I mean as the fuel farm?
Looking back, he was shaking the entire time. I don't know if he was scared, nervous, or maybe he was on some sort of substance. I do not know.
1021.
Do you have a Connecticut driver's license?
No, sir.
Where do you have a driver's license?
Sir, I don't want to, since I'm being detained, I gave you my name under threat of arrest. I'm not going to answer any more questions till your supervisor gets here, please.
Not a problem.
Invoke my fifth.
Okay. 581 Bradley.
581.
Name and date of birth. Unknown on the state, he's refusing to provide that. Let me know when you're ready. What state do you reside in?
Sir, I told you, since you're detaining me, I'm not going to answer any more questions. I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent because I want to speak to a supervisor, please, because you're making a big mistake here, Trooper. I'm telling you are.
Unfortunately, sir, you made the mistake by not identifying yourself.
I told you I was an independent journalist.
That's great.
No,
you still need to identify yourself. You're in an international airport, okay?
The law,
the security of everyone here is more important than that right now.
No, the Constitution doesn't end in an international airport.
Once again, I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with. I'm not here to.
No, you can go back and you can do that with your supervisor. I'm here. If you whatever you need me to do that you feel that you're going to arrest me over, I will comply with that.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
There is no need for you to be handcuffed. You made it this way. You put yourself in this situation. Absolutely not. Not until my backup arrives.
Scared. He will not even take the handcuffs off. And then he blames me for putting myself in handcuffs, apparently, for exercising my rights, because the security of the airport is more important than our constitutional rights.
But why are you shaking? I'm not a threat.
I'm not shaking.
Sir. I'm not a threat.
You're detained right now. You're my responsibility. If you fall over, you're my responsibility. You're saying that, but I don't know that. I don't know that you're not a threat to anything here at the airport.
Sir, the way the world works, you can't handcuff people because you don't know if they're a threat or not, sir. That's dangerous that you're acting like this, really. Just because you're an officer doesn't mean give you the right to.
You're trying to provoke this, but it's not going to work.
Sir, how am I trying to provoke it? I'm trying to instruct you and educate you.
That's not your job.
It is because I'm sitting in handcuffs.
You told me you're provoking your Fifth Amendment right to first.
Well, I can invoke it whenever I'd like, sir.
Gotcha.
For answering any questions, but for education, I won't. You just violated my civil rights. Seriously, I'm not gonna say anything else. You did.
This isn't our first time dealing with you, correct?
I've never dealt with you before.
You never dealt with the state police?
No.
Never with law enforcement?
I'm not gonna. Are you a supervisor, sir? Sir? Are you a supervisor, sir?
I am not.
Oh, can I get a supervisor here? My rights are being violated.
We're working on that.
Why are they being violated? Because I'm in cuffs and I haven't broken any laws, sir.
581 negative.
Sir? Sir, there is, as you know, an unlawful detainment. This is you know what that's gonna happen, right?
Are you trying to scare me?
I'm just saying.
Are you trying to intimidate me?
I'm trying to tell you that this is unlawful, sir. I've been nothing but cordial with you since you came up to me.
Absolutely, except you interfered with my investigation and failed to provide your ID.
You have no authority, sir. You have no authority to ask me for ID, sir. That's just the fact.
I actually do once you cause a disturbance at the airport. If you were just here
I wasn't causing
and no one came to me and reported you to me, absolutely, you're 100% right. You could sit here and record all day. That's not the issue.
So by Trooper Lavoie's logic, if anyone came up to him and said, that person is suspicious, I don't like the color of his skin, I don't like the kind of clothes he's wearing, whatever the case may be, he would have the duty and the legal authority to investigate that person, including putting them in handcuffs and demanding ID under threat of arrest. That is very scary, ladies and gentlemen.
The issue is you're causing alarm and
TSA
disturbance.
Supervisor Brett Kavanaugh came and spoke with me and told me that I have every right to film the security checkpoint.
I did not deny that. Have you heard that from me at all?
So what
You're causing
what action?
alarm and disturbance to the passengers. Multiple people came to me. I'm sure you saw me standing over there, and I was asked to come and find out what's going on with the suspicious person at the checkpoint.
Suspicion is not a crime, sir.
It's not. The crime.
Can you articulate to
I
me
did
a
not
crime?
say that there was a crime committed, sir. I tried to identify you to make sure that there was no issue here, and you refused to do that.
If I were you,
then you would not put your hands behind your back.
If I were you, I would invoke your own right to remain silent, sir, because you're just digging yourself deeper in the hole. You just said there's no crime. Come on, man.
Not at this point, there isn't.
There was never. Okay. Go ahead. You're right. There was never a crime. There's not going to be a crime, and I wasn't. Your body camera will show. I've been nothing but cordial to you. I just was. If invoking my rights puts me in cuffs, I mean, I guess that's just where we are.
If you feel it was your right to not provide me your ID when the state trooper requested it, that's how you feel. That's fine.
Yeah, see, the problem is you think you're above the law, and you think you're above. You're above a citizen.
See, now you're projecting your thoughts because I'm in uniform. So
no.
Because I'm in uniform.
I'm assuming because you put me in cuffs.
Yeah, you're detained. That's 100% right. For failure to comply.
An unlawful detainment. Okay. Is the supervisor is coming?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm sure he's going to explain it to you. I'm sure he is. All right. Cool, man. It's all about education here. I'm not mad. Trooper Lavoie. Good, you got a body camera. This is good. Great transparency for everybody. That my phone wasn't. Imagine you did. This is what I'm talking about for law enforcement. Imagine you didn't have a body camera right now. My phone is off. I'm not recording.
Okay.
So what type of accountability would I have against you if you didn't have a body? That's why body cameras are important. It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
Do you know that the state police have had body cameras for over 5 years?
That's great. That's good to hear. Really, it is.
31 to transport, and I'll be out inside the
Where I'm from, they don't have body cameras, so I'm an advocate trying to promote that.
You should. We're still trying to find out where you're from, so.
Great police work, Trooper Lavoie. Trying to figure out where I'm from. Maybe I'm from Long Island. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. There's nothing that is right in your face that would tell you I'm from Long Island. I don't know. It's just a guess. But great police work, Trooper Lavoie. You are really sharp one, aren't you?
It'll be interesting to find out who doesn't have body cameras.
De-escalation. If you do a little bit of de-escalation, things might go a little bit better for you and anybody else.
You could have too.
All I did was tell you I want to invoke my right. Is
Absolutely.
this a supervisor?
No.
Come on, man. Can I get a supervisor here? He's going to explain to you guys to release me immediately. I haven't broken any laws. This is insane.
You'll be released as soon as you're identified.
This is unlawful
and we're sure that there's nothing being done here.
Bradley.
Cruz and Lavoie.
Sir, can I just ask
I've been very transparent, sir. I told you I'm an independent journalist gathering content for a story. Exercising my First Amendment right. That's all. Dude, the TSA supervisor he just told me I have every right to film the security checkpoint.
Absolutely.
He's the TSA supervisor.
Right. Mr. Reyes, you understand that I've never denied that. That's not why you're detained. That's not why you're being spoken to. You're detained because you weren't cooperating with me when I was trying to investigate what was going on.
Because I wouldn't provide my identification.
Absolutely.
Just keeps digging himself deeper and deeper and deeper.
Understood. Well, we can have a difference of opinion. This is
absolutely.
America, but the only thing we can't have a difference of opinion on is the law. And you're a law enforcement officer, so I guess. Okay.
So can I just ask why, like, an officer asking for ID, why you wouldn't provide it? Like, what is the big deal?
The big deal is we have a right not to provide identification. Our Fourth Amendment right. This is not Nazi Germany, officer.
It's part of my rights, sir. I don't have to provide ID. If you didn't have a right to do something, why would you? It's a right. It's not a privilege.
Were you just arrested recently?
I don't answer questions.
The answer is yes.
I just want to clarify. I only answer the questions that I want to answer. I do answer questions. I just don't answer the questions that I don't want to.
So why are you asking a question you know the answer to?
Because I think you're just trying to be different than
I just don't want to answer any questions. Is that
you have an agenda here? That's what I'm telling you. Like you have some kind of agenda.
Agenda for? I didn't put myself in these cuffs. I told him I'm a journalist. TSA didn't put me in cuffs.
People tell us stuff all the time. Doesn't mean that we necessarily believe them until they people lie to us all the time.
Just because you have trust issues, that doesn't mean you can put free citizens.
We have trust issues.
You can't put free citizens in handcuffs.
It's the nature of our job.
This is an unlawful detainment.
He said it right there, ladies and gentlemen. It's the nature of our job. They don't trust any of us. They will violate our constitutional rights for officer safety because they don't trust any of us. It's the nature of their job. You heard him. He said it.
And when the supervisor gets here, he's going to let you guys both know that, and he's going to tell you to release me.
We're going to release you as soon as we're able to do that. I'm not keeping you detained just because I feel like I want to. You understand that, right?
Yeah, no, you want to because you put the cuffs on me. You definitely did.
While I was here by myself, and you weren't cooperating with me. Yes, you were handcuffed.
I was not aggressive.
No one said you were aggressive.
And all I told you was I'm not providing my deed because I don't have to legally.
Right.
I'm following
until you
the
were
law.
given a lawful order from a state trooper to do so, and you've chose not to.
That is an unlawful order, sir.
Okay.
And you're going to learn that.
Well, I'm glad you cooperated with it because it was getting close to the point that you weren't, where I had to physically put your hands behind your back for you.
Yeah, because physically putting somebody's hands behind their back is a great way for them to identify themselves. I mean, I guess it worked because he threatened to arrest me, and I did. But now I have standing in federal court for a lawsuit. So stay tuned for that.
I don't comply with unlawful orders, and that's just my right as a citizen to not comply with it. You might think it's a lawful order, but it's not. It's not. It's not. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 state troopers.
Well, until we could get the supervisor, everyone came for you. All right, sir. Multiple people came up to me, including TSA, saying this guy was acting very suspicious at the checkpoint. I observed him recording, which is nothing wrong with that. However, when I went to identify him to find out what his business here at the airport, he refused to comply. Okay. Wouldn't provide me any ID. He's like pushing the limits. He's trying to test us, I think, and see. He's saying I violated his First Amendment right, and that he didn't have to provide ID, and that's why he didn't. When I asked him to put his hands behind his back because he wasn't being compliant with me and I was investigating, he refused to do so. It took me 4 or 5 verbal attempts to get him to do that. Okay. Had to physically put his hands behind his back. He's been compliant since, but constantly questioning what I'm asking. Just being difficult.
Being very difficult. Exercising my constitutional rights. Trying to educate this trooper, Lavoie, on our constitutional rights. Very difficult. Very, very difficult.
I don't think there's anything major here. I think this is what he was here to do. He says he's a journalist and he was recording, but he has no documentation of that. And I just did a pat down. I didn't do a search, obviously.
Well, where did you find him?
He was literally right here recording everyone, recording TSA agents.
Oh, so he wasn't on the other side?
No, okay. He's on the unsecured side, recording the TSA checkpoint, recording passengers, and people were just alarmed and disturbed by what he was doing.
Right.
People were alarmed. Are they alarmed by paparazzi? There's paparazzi at LAX, JFK, recording for celebrities. Are they alarmed by that? Why would they be alarmed by me?
So I wanted to make sure everything was safe.
Okay.
And that's where we're at.
Hi, Sergeant Drummond.
Yes.
Sergeant Drummond, I would like to be released immediately from this unlawful detainment. I have not broken any laws. Mm-hmm. Your trooper did not have any reasonable articulable suspicion to identify me or in any way. I talked to Supervisor from the TSA, Brett Kavanaugh. He told me that I have every right to film the security checkpoint. This is a public building. I'm an independent journalist. He's violating my First Amendment right of freedom of press. And like I said, I would like to be released from these handcuffs. Okay. And he turned off my phone. I would like to be released from these handcuffs immediately. I have not broken any law, sir.
Okay. All right. Why were you videotaping? Just out of curiosity.
Same thing I told your trooper. I'm an independent journalist gathering content for a story.
Okay.
I'm not going to divulge until the story is published. Now I guess the story has changed to an unlawful detainment by your officer, by your trooper, sorry. And like I said, the longer I'm in here, the longer you guys are violating my rights. So I would, as a supervisor, I would advise you to do the right thing here, sir, and have me undetained. Okay. Because I have not broken any laws. Okay. And your trooper has a grave misunderstanding of Connecticut law, saying that a trooper, if they ask for your ID, you are obligated legally to provide it. I know that you do not, that you need reasonable articulable suspicion.
All right, turn on. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You need reasonable articulable suspicion, and I think I would like to file a formal complaint against this trooper.
Okay.
And I'll be writing a statement to your internal affairs, but I'd like to file a complaint with you as a supervisor.
Well, I'm going to direct you to our professional standards unit.
You're not going to take a complaint from me?
I don't take complaints. We don't do that. You have to go through our professional standards.
That's not how it works with troopers?
No.
Okay.
No. It has to go for you
professional standards?
Yeah, and then it'll come down through the chain of command.
Okay, great.
We're going to be taking a look at that internal affairs summary at the end of this video, so stay tuned. It's very laughable what they have to say.
Well, I will advise that.
Could you do that for me? Could
Yes,
you
I will.
advise him that that's not the law? That's dangerous.
No. Actually, he had a reason to question you. You chose not to cooperate with him. You became the subject of an investigation. So
I do not have to provide my ID unless he articulates a crime.
Okay, that's fine. Listen, do we have your name? Are you going to provide your name?
He told me he was going to arrest me, trooper. This is what I'm saying. I understand you guys have your thin blue line and you guys stick together. I get that.
Listen.
But what I'm saying is, if he's breaking the law,
or I'm going to leave. Stop talking.
I mean, you can leave whenever you'd like, sir.
You guys are all set?
When I get my things and go.
I'm going
to get it.
Okay.
I'm going near my
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't want him going anywhere near my bike. It's very special to me. I worked very, very hard on that dismount earlier.
Be careful, man. Come on, what's wrong with you? Come on, man. This is all on a call for. I don't know. I'll be talking to professional standards since your sergeant's the one that do it. You need to learn the law.
Don't point. Listen, we're done talking. We're done. Get yourself a
Yeah.
Let's go, sir.
Not even a simple infraction?
Huh?
Not even a simple.
No, just let him go.
Not even a simple infraction, Sarge. Please, let's get him on something because he hurt my feelings. He educated me on his constitutional rights. He was being very, quote, difficult with me. He wouldn't cooperate. He wouldn't allow me to violate his rights. So can we get him on anything? Simple infraction, misdemeanor, anything. Come on, Sarge.
I didn't break the law.
All right, let's go.
You did. You violated my rights. I was just unlawfully detained by the Connecticut State Troopers here. I was put in cuffs by a tyrant officer, a rogue officer who thought that he knew his job, but obviously didn't. Excuse me.
All right, fellow patriots, we're going to be taking a look at the internal affairs findings from the Bureau of Professional Standards of the Connecticut State Police. These findings are alarming and prove that law enforcement should not be investigating themselves. Mr. Reyes, the inquiry did in fact determine that Trooper Lavoie, who was assigned at the terminal located at Bradley International Airport on July 23rd, 2021, did in fact interact with you while you were in or around the TSA checkpoint within Bradley International Airport. Trooper Lavoie was alerted by numerous TSA agents of a suspicious male standing near the TSA checkpoint. By that logic, any photographer or paparazzi would automatically be deemed suspicious. Based upon the description of the male and the fact that this male appeared to be concealing his identity combined with the assessment from a TSA behavioral detection officer. So let me get this straight. The assessment of a random, probably non-existent TSA officer is okay to put in the report, but the TSA supervisor, Brett Kavanaugh, who said that I had every right to record the checkpoint, they just want to skip over that one. Trooper Lavoie was well within the framework of the law to approach you and seek further identification from you. However, what was most unfortunate is that you became argumentative and uncooperative towards Trooper Lavoie in response to his request for identification. Ladies and gentlemen, the most unfortunate part of the interaction we just witnessed is that I was argumentative and uncooperative. It wasn't the fact that my First and Fourth Amendment rights were violated. It wasn't the fact that I was placed in handcuffs for 20 minutes. It was that I was argumentative and uncooperative. How was I argumentative? By asserting my rights, by trying to educate this officer. Absolutely unbelievable. Based upon all the facts presented to Trooper Lavoie at the time, he was well within the law while in the performance of his duties as a Connecticut State Trooper to place you in an investigative detention in order to further identify you. Trooper Lavoie was always professional when speaking with you and never once spoke to you in a derogatory and/or demeaning manner. Additionally, the security at BIA was at a heightened risk level due to the visit of a foreign dignitary who was traveling through BIA on that date. So when a foreign dignitary is traveling in our airports, we the people's airports, the Constitution is suspended, as well as our constitutional rights. What a joke. Trooper Lavoie had a responsibility to investigate what was reported to him as a suspicious person who was concealing his identity and causing alarm. As such, Trooper Lavoie was well within the law to conduct a stop and ID on your person in order to determine your validity and legitimate purpose of business at the Bradley International Airport. Mr. Reyes, it is very unfortunate that you perceived Trooper Lavoie's initial contact with you as adversarial and a violation of your rights, which was not the case. It is also most unfortunate that your perception led to your actions, which precipitated Trooper Lavoie into placing you into an investigative detention until he could properly identify you and your legitimate purpose while at Bradley International Airport that day. The internal affairs findings ends with this. You may be assured that the Connecticut State Police strives to achieve professionalism in all of its undertakings, and I regret that we have failed to convey that impression to you in this case. It is my hope that this letter is received in a positive manner, and I hope your future experiences with the Connecticut State Police continue to be positive and pleasant in nature.
We're going to have a problem between you and I. We're going to have a problem between you and I.
You don't do it, interfering.
His body camera's on. His body camera's on. Stop.
Oh, you wanted to stand there and hold your cell phone in my face is what you wanted to.
I know your inclination is wanting to assault me, Sergeant. Stop pushing me. I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get in the building.
You can't come in the building. You have no business here.
I do have business here. Stop acting like a savage. What are you doing? At this point, Sergeant Brian Fahey assaulted me yet again.
So you are not permitted to film on the premises, all right? So you've been informed. So if you continue to film, we're going to take action here.
Thank you for taking the time to share your concerns and affording me the opportunity to respond. Sincerely, Captain John B. Cerruti. Fellow Patriots, this internal affairs report was a complete joke. This is the thin blue line protecting itself. I did nothing wrong. I did not break any laws. As Trooper Lavoie said himself multiple times, I never said that there was a crime. Yet I was placed in handcuffs. I was forced to identify myself under threat of arrest. And then at the end of the encounter, when the sergeant released me, we can't get him on a simple infraction, Sarge. That is the mentality that most law enforcement officers have towards members of the public. Why do you have to be so difficult, Mr. Reyes? Why do you have to exercise your rights and remain silent and not answer the questions I want you to answer or provide your identification and surrender your Fourth Amendment right? Why do you got to be so difficult? And that's what the bootlickers say as well, ladies and gentlemen. Why do you got to be so difficult? Just hand over your papers. This is Nazi Germany. It's okay. This is the United States of America. Law enforcement officers are our heroes. Trooper Lavoie is not a hero. None of those officers that were involved in the situation are heroes, or else they would have done the right thing and released me immediately and reprimanded Trooper Lavoie and held him accountable for violating my constitutional rights. Trooper Lavoie is a coward. That's why he was shaking throughout the entire encounter. His voice cracked several times. Like I said in the video, if he heard an acorn hit the hood of a car, he would unload his entire magazine into it. That's the kind of law enforcement officer Trooper Lavoie is. He is not a hero. He is a tyrant and a bully, and he used his perceived authority to violate my rights. And that is why I am shortly going to be filing a federal lawsuit against him, because this internal affairs report means nothing. This is just them covering themselves or attempting to covering themselves, as we've seen with the Sergeant Brian Fahey incident, etc. The Connecticut State Police are famous for trying to cover themselves. Law enforcement in general, you know the adage, we've investigated ourselves and found no wrongdoing. But thankfully, we have more resources. We have the federal court system in order to hold these officers accountable. And I've been very busy with multiple federal lawsuits against the NYPD, Berwyn, Illinois, and others. And I have not gotten around to holding this tyrant accountable, but very shortly, I will be doing a live stream reading the complaint to each and every one of you, the federal complaint, and we're going to hold him and Sergeant Brian Fahey accountable. Stay tuned for both of those. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Trooper Lavoie, was I being difficult? Let me know. Let me know what you thought about Trooper Lavoie's actions. I can't wait to read your comments. As always, stay safe. God bless. I'll see you in the next video. Long Island Audit. Peace.